I think the goal always drives me. I feel like I'm always driven by goal because every year I have a goal to say I want to achieve 1, 2, 3. I'm never that person who is influenced by the pressures. Like I'm not influenced by what people around me are doing. If you are able to manage your own life, you'll be able to manage your finances. Investment as a whole, it's something that no one claps hands for you for investing.
The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strongholds to break, got long walks to take. Got no votes to make, we don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah. African man, yeah. African man, ooh. The African male iris through the eye of an African male.
Welcome, everybody, to the African Male Iris. Thank you for joining us once again for another episode. My name is DJ Tino.
And I'm Slim. Been away for a while, but I'm back.
Yeah, man. You've been in exile or something.
You need to give yourself a break sometime.
No, for sure. For sure, man.
Come back with a punch.
No, but it's good to see you, Slim. And today we're joined by my brother, actually, Tawanda.
Hi everyone. I'm Tawanda. Guess you can call me a special guest today or a co-star, but yeah, happy to be here and looking forward to some great conversation with our guest.
Oh, yes. Thank you for joining us as well. And we have a special guest today, a man that I extended an invitation to, and I thought he was just going to be like, who's this person? Because he's a busy guy and he's wanted everywhere currently. But we thank you for making your time. And this is Mr. Percy Singo.
Yes, no, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for coming through.
Yes.
And of course, Percy, the reason why you are in demand is because of your book. You've written quite a good guide about how to make your salary work for you.
Oh, yes.
I've got there's like a very interesting paragraph about the author. You want me to read it?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Right.
Please go ahead.
So, about the author, Percy Singo is a voluntary finance influencer whose ambition is to see everyone becoming financially free. His income is invested in property, and he is a co-founder of BY's Financial Seminar, which hosts seminars nationally and internationally. He is a popular speaker on financial literacy and holds a master's degree in civil and environmental engineering from Wits University. Above it all, he recommends God.
Oh. That's nice. Well said.
Oh, thank you.
Something just struck me though, like from reading this paragraph. Obviously, the fact that you recommend God, that's the first thing. But how did you move from civil and environmental engineering to being a financial guru? How did that go?
Yes, it's surprising that a lot of people who know me, they don't even know, some of them, that I'm a civil engineer. They only know the finance part. Yeah, and the finance part is just about my own lifestyle. It's just decisions that I was making in my own lifestyle until it reached a place where people wanted to know, how are you able to do 1, 2, 3?
Okay.
And then that's when I started sharing that side of financial literacy. And then that's when even the following grew while I was sharing about my financial journey, the things that I've been doing in my own personal life. Yeah.
Okay. And just take us through. I think in chapter 1, it's the testimony.
Oh, yes.
About how you started that journey and how you were starving yourself.
That's
a good one.
I think that's like one of the key highlights of this book. Is like, just starve.
Yeah, you sacrificed quite a bit.
Yes, okay. No, it started so many years ago, but it started in a church environment because my mother was a cleaner in a church for 15 years.
Okay.
So because I was the younger one, she was taking me to most of those conferences that were happening in the church. So I believe in one of those conferences, that's when I heard about financial literacy. So by the time I started working, I already had the information, which is unfortunate for some people because there are people who grow up, maybe the only person you are looking up to is just your parents. And if your parents doesn't have good financial
Acumen, anything, yeah.
yes, then you are going to also copy the same thing because you don't only learn from hearing, you learn from what you are seeing in the
watching as
house.
well. Yeah,
but I
that's
was fortunate enough that I started to hear about financial literacy at the church. And then when I started working, it was the matter of saying I want to implement all these strategies that I've learned from church. So I never had that time of saying you are making a lot of mistake financially, then you are trying to recover.
fix it.
So
Okay,
for me, it was like from the first month, I just jump into financial literacy.
So it was one of those. I have all of these strategies that I need to implement. Let the money come. As soon as it comes. Okay,
Yes,
I
as soon
get
as-
you. I get you.
That's something we wish we all had. So at what age was that when you started working? Like,
It
young
was
were you?
2010. It was 2010, the year. Yeah. It was during the time of World Cup.
World Cup, yeah.
So in June 2010, I was starting with my first job. Yeah.
Were you in your early 20s, late 20s?
Yes, I was early 20.
Okay,
Early 20,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Early 20.
Wow.
Because I was just straight from university. I think the only time I sat from finishing university was 2 months. While I was doing driver's lessons. I had already got the offer, but the offer was like, you have to first get the driver's license, and then you must call us once you have it. So I just took those months to go and do driver's lessons. Then I went straight to work.
Okay. So tell us what you did with your salary. With your first salary.
So my first job, I was earning something like 6,000. I was earning 6,000. But it's very important for somebody to note that 6,000 in 2010, it's not 6,000 in 2025. It's like $1 million. Before we used to feel it to $1 million. It's a lot of money. But at the moment, if you get it, you even struggle to get a house at the moment. The only thing maybe you can get is just an apartment somewhere. But to get a standalone house with $1 million, it's now difficult. But before you will feel like if I get $1 million, I can even quit my job. So 6,000 in 2010, it's not 6,000 in 2025, but I was earning 6,000, exactly 16,000. But there was a calculator that recently I was doing to say what is the value of the 16,000 in 2010 today. And then I realized it's around 15,000.
Or the 6,000
Yeah,
without
like
thousand.
there's calculators you can do on Google to say to check or over the years this value is now this much.
Oh, so that's about
yes,
It's more than double.
230%. Yeah, it's about 230%.
yes, which is good. Yeah, so I was earning 6,000. I decided to say, let me save half of that amount. I saved 3,000. I did that for a year, and then after a
Were
year,
you staying alone?
Yes, I was staying with a friend. Like we had a place, it was in Mpumalanga. We had a place in Mpumalanga, Emelo, where we were paying 1,250 each. But it was a 2-bedroom. We were only sharing the kitchen and the small sitting room. Yeah, so I was paying that. But fortunately, the company gave me a company car. They gave me a Datsun Go to say, use this car for going to site because I'm in civil engineering. You will use it to go to site. We were doing roads construction then. And then they even gave me a petrol card to say, this is what you use to fill the. So I didn't have even traveling expenses. Yeah. So I was it was just the matter of me, accommodation and food. And at that time, I think 800 for 2 people was
enough.
more than enough to cover you throughout the month. And then I decided to save 3,000. After a year, I had 36,000. And then after that, I moved to another job. It was even my dream company that I got, which they said they're going to pay me 10,000. And then I was saving 5,000 every month. After a year, I had 60,000 plus the 36,000. So I had 96,000. And then for some reason, I used to keep like screenshots of everything from 2010 to today. I have screenshots of
I
all the
noticed
journey.
in your book.
In my book, I even put
screenshots.
some of the screenshots there. Yes. So I used to keep a lot of screenshots. And then in 2023, I already had 100 and in 2013, I already had 120,000, which I took and went and bought my first car cash.
Okay.
And then after buying the car, I was just saving, but I didn't have like a proper plan to say,
What are you
this
going
is
to
what
use the
I
money
want to
for?
do with the money.
Okay.
And then around 2015, I already had a new 100,000 again.
Okay.
And then that's when I decided to say, let me go and buy my first house. And then I went and buy my first house for 522,000. But when I bought it, another company had called me for an interview to say, come for an interview. I didn't apply that job. It was those companies, because in civil engineering, you've got three parties in every project. You've got the client, the consultant, and the contractor.
Okay.
So it was maybe before I was in a client side. Now the consultant called me to say, can you come for an interview? Then I went there for an interview. They say, how much do you earn? I'm like, 10,000. They're like, no, a person with a BTech in civil engineering cannot earn 10,000. They started paying me 32,000.
And there you were at your dream company.
That was the money.
That's when I qualified to get the house for 522.
So you applied
Yes,
now.
yes.
Okay.
Then I got the house. But while I was sitting, because the house was like the main debt that I had. I've never had a debt before. This was like the first big debt. And I feel like the bank felt it because they didn't even give it to me in 20 years. My bond was actually 25 years.
Okay.
So they saw the risk. This one, it doesn't have a good profile of paying debts.
The scores.
Yeah.
The credit scores.
So they gave it to me in 25 years. But while I was sitting, I'm worried. No, man, 522,000.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pay it in 25 years. No, I need to pay off this debt as soon as possible. Then I decided to say I'm going to save 15,000 every month. I saved 15,000 from 2015 to 2018. 2018, I had 520,000 in the account.
It's 3 years time.
Yes, in 3 years' time. I think the screenshot for that is there on, the book. Yeah.
Yes,
So I had 520,000 in my account. Then I went to Standard Bank to say I want to settle the debt. And then I want to know how much am I still owing. And then I realized I was still owing 512,000. So I
that
bought
meant you literally just had paid off 9,000 or something.
10,000.
10,000.
In 3 years.
And when I
After actually
calculated
paying like
how much
190 or so.
how much did I actually pay? If you say I was paying 5,850 on the bond, times 12 times 3 years, that's 210,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Which means only the 10,000 went into the debt.
The rest is
But the
interest.
200,000 is interest. Yeah.
See how they're making so much money. Thanks.
Yeah. Then from there, I continue saving. But remember, now it was easy for me to save because I'm no more paying for. I'm not paying for a car. I'm not paying for a house.
Yeah.
Which means the 5,850 can now go into my savings. But I didn't take all of it. I took only 5,000 of the 5,850, which means after finishing off paying off my house, I improved my life, like my lifestyle,
of
by
course,
800
of course.
by 850. Then I continue saving 20,000. Now I was saving 20,000 from 2018 to 2020.
Let me just
Yes.
okay.
All right.
Percy,
Yes.
Let me ask something. I admire your journey so much, especially as a young man, to be able to stick to your
the
guns.
discipline, eh?
The discipline. You said you got that from church, but I mean, after uni and getting your first job, How did you manage to stick to that with money coming in, the bright lights, the city,
The girls.
all the way up to 2018, 2019, up to now? How do you manage to stick to that?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we all like things, right? We all like things. We like to spoil ourselves sometimes. But from what I'm hearing,
Yes.
you've got your sights set on financial freedom.
Yes.
How have you managed to stick? And I'm really curious about
Yeah.
the younger you, especially.
Yes. I think the goal always drive me. I feel like I'm always driven by goal because every year I have a goal to say I want to achieve 1, 2, 3. So it makes me to be disciplined to say whatever money I'm receiving, I must send something to the goal. So it has always been like the drive to say I always have a goal. And then I'm never that person who is influenced by the pressures. Like I'm not influenced by what people around me are doing. I focus on what I want. If I see my friends are changing cars, it doesn't mean I must change my car. So I stick to my own lane and then make sure that I achieve the goals that I want.
What about socially? How did your social life look like in your 20s?
It was okay because it's just that personally I have an advantage. For me, I feel like things like not drinking, it's an advantage for me.
Yes, definitely.
Because I don't drink alcohol. So most of the time I'm just an indoor person. I'm not like too much
What
on
about
the
sports,
on the-
things like that? Would you go out for the events? And
No,
things like
the events I do. I do attend events. Yes. But I feel like there is a lot of advantages over my own journey, which,
Okay. All right.
it's just moral things. I feel like there are moral things that I'm practicing
on,
that helps me to even save.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm sure your social circle was also, you kept it small. No, it makes sense. Makes sense. No, you can go ahead.
You had that.
No, I think
It's covered a little bit here.
I think we covered it a little.
I wanted to ask though. Are you married right now?
No, I'm not.
Not yet. Not yet. Oh, so you see your family as a financial liability. I see you.
Not yet.
It's not a goal yet.
No. I believe in marriage. Like I'm very big in marriage.
definitely.
I believe in marriage. It's just that I'm not yet, married. Yeah.
Okay.
You still
Not that I'm pushing it away because I'm saying I want to save.
But
I think one thing that particularly stuck with me was the fact that at any given point in time, you had a goal. However small it might have been or however large it was,
yeah.
you always had
Yes.
something set
Yes.
before you even received the money.
Yes.
So naturally, when the money came,
Yes.
it was you just channel it towards the goal
Correct.
or whatever it is that you wanted to do. I think that to me stuck the most from the conversation that we've had so
We've
far.
had so far. You know, in chapter 2, you said this. When you say you want to save, you're actually saying you want to change your lifestyle.
Oh yes.
Just elaborate on that point.
Yeah, I feel like saving. It's about a person. It's about managing yourself. If you are able to manage your own life, you'll be able to manage your finances. So I always say when I hear somebody say I'm struggling to save, what I feel like they are telling me without telling me is that I'm failing to manage myself. Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel
I'm
like
not willing to change my lifestyle.
Yes,
not willing
yes,
to compromise
yes.
what I have right now.
So I feel like lifestyle plays an important role, and a lot of people outside there, they are struggling to save. And then they'll come to you saying, I'm struggling to save. How are you able to do it? And then you ask them, what have you done in order to be able to save? And you realize this person has never done anything to be able to save because there is no new money that is going to come just to say this money is for saving.
Oh yes.
So it means that there must be something that you are already doing that you are saying, I'm going to stop doing this so that I can convert this money into saving. So saving is like two columns. You've got column of expenses and you've got column of saving. What you are trying to do is trying to lower the column of expenses, so that you can grow your savings. But what is happening is that people are growing their expenses and they're wondering, why can't I save? Yeah.
It's about living within your means.
In this case, it's living below your means.
Yeah, but below.
Definitely below.
I remember I actually saw a status of yours once where you had a picture of your old couch.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if you see that couch, just
It's in
that couch has scratches in it. You see the inside.
You have to get your value. Sweating your asset.
So it just showed me the level of sacrifice that was.
Yeah. I feel like, in the beginning, there was a lot of sacrifices, which a lot of people couldn't get to see. So I feel like the culture was just showing one of the sacrifices that I had to go through in my journey of being where I am, because people just see a success story without knowing what did you go through.
I see somewhere in your book, you do mention that a lot of people don't save because there's no, you don't get any gratification from outside about when you save. It's all internal.
Yes, and it's true, because when you look into investment as a whole, it's something that no one claps hands for you for investing.
Yeah.
Until it reaches a stage where people can now see the investment rate is growing and it's big. But in the beginning, when you are saving or you are having shares in your portfolio, no one sees the shares. So when you go to a wedding somewhere, no one can see that this person is well invested in shares. So what people can see, it's usually things that are not making money for you. It's things like clothes. That's what people can see. Or, oh, this person is wearing this, it means he's making money. This person,
People are chasing status.
even the cars, like when you see somebody driving a car, you are like, oh, if you are driving this car, it means you are making money. But the real things which are true investment, you don't really get to see that this person
and no one gives you gratitude for it. Like you're not applauded. You don't get flowers for that.
I always say, for me, who is in property, when I go to vendor, I don't go with my properties. So what people see is just the polo coming through, and then they can make their conclusion based on the car.
The polo that can easily be a Range Rover.
Think about cars.
Yes.
I don't know if it's maybe too early in the discussion, but I saw some interesting an interesting section about the different ways that one can purchase a car. But I guess the conversation might come a little bit later.
No, go ahead. We can bounce around. Because you might lose it.
Yes. I saw that you noted 4 ways in which one can actually purchase a vehicle.
Yes.
You didn't recommend any,
Yes.
but you just stated facts, and obviously,
Yes.
if you can read between the lines, you would definitely know which method makes the most sense. Do you just mind just kind of going through all 4 of them?
Let me go through them. I
us
hope
your
I can remember
recommendation.
all of them.
I'll help you. I think I have them.
Okay. There is a person, let's say there is a person who's going to, I'm just going to talk, I won't talk about them according to the way I say them. But let's say there's a person who's going to buy a car cash. In terms of money, that person is going to use less money compared to the other people.
Everyone else,
to everyone else.
Yes.
Then there is a person now who's coming with a deposit to say, I'm coming to buy this car with a deposit. It's also a good thing to come with a deposit because you are destroying the interest.
The interest, yes.
Yes, so I can say that's number 2 person who is coming with the deposit. But the worst person, unfortunately, is the one who's the balloon payment.
The balloon payment, yes,
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah.
The third one is the
Yes.
no deposit,
Yes.
Start paying monthly.
no balloon payment.
Yes.
You're just paying on a monthly basis.
Oh, yes. Yes. Then the balloon payment, unfortunately, is the worst one. But the reason why I didn't recommend a strategy is because if you are an investor, you might not want to use 500,000 to buy a
Chunk
car.
of money.
Yes, that money you can go. For me to do one bachelor, it takes me 100,000. A bachelor, which is having a kitchenette, a bathroom, and all these things, it takes me 100,000.
Okay.
So if I go and take 500,000, I put it in investment,
bachelor flats.
and then I'm renting each 3.5. 3.5 by 5, it's how much?
Why are you looking? Why are you looking?
17.5. You did some quick maths. About 17.5. somewhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. So you are getting 17,500. You need to go and pay for a car, which you are going to pay, let's say, even 10,000, because a 500,000, or with a car, it's like this. Every 100,000, it's equivalent to 2,000.
2,000. Okay.
But
okay.
for a house, every 100,000, it's equivalent to 1,000.
1,000. Okay. All
Yes.
right.
So if you buy a car of 500,000, it means you're gonna be paying something like 10,000. But you are making 17,500. So you went and invested in property. You are making 17.5. You can just take the 10 from the 17.5
And use it to
and
buy
you pay for the car.
Car.
So that's why I'm saying but you still remain with profit. That's why I'm saying for an investor, it might not be a good thing to take 500,000 and go and
buy a car
buy
cash.
the car cash while you can do an investment that can generate enough money for you to service the debt of a car and still you remain with a profit.
And still have
Yes.
your
Yes.
initial investment.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
The motherland, the African man. Long as I'm alive, I'ma make a plan. Strongholds to break, got long walks to take, got no votes to make. We don't bet, we pray. Hey, African man, yeah. African man, yeah. African man, ooh. The African male iris.